Hey YNR fans! Waving hand, welcome to YNR Trends, your go-to spot for the juiciest Young and the Restless updates, shocking spoilers, and all the drama you can't stop talking about. From surprise returns to scandalous twists, we break it all down for you, every day. So grab your coffee, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive right into Genoa City's hottest gossip. The mood in Genoa City on September 13th, 2025, is anything but calm, and the spoilers for this Saturday episode of The Young and the Restless are hinting that emotions will run higher than ever as long-buried secrets crawl back into the light, unexpected alliances take shape, and the tension between certain families threatens to spark chaos that no one can easily contain, leaving fans glued to their screens, unable to look away from the whirlwind of drama playing out. In one corner of town, Victor Newman is once again proving that he will stop at nothing to protect his family and empire, even if it means making ruthless threats that shake the very ground beneath his children's feet. His words may be sharp as steel, but the shadows in his eyes tell a story of a man who is both proud and frightened that the dynasty he built could fall apart if he loses control of the battlefield. Meanwhile, Cain Ashby's return continues to stir waves that ripple through every household, and as he finds himself pulled into more dangerous situations, whispers spread that his motives may not be entirely pure, creating suspicion even among those who once trusted him most. The town can't stop talking about Damien, the man once thought to be dead, whose shocking presence hangs like a ghost over Genoa City, and though Amy swears she saw him alive, the question no one can answer is whether Damien is truly back or if his name is being used as a pawn in someone's sinister game of manipulation. Sharon finds herself caught in the middle of Nick's frustrations as his temper boils over, pushing her further away at the exact moment he should be pulling her close, while at the same time Sally and Billy dance around a fragile line of intimacy and resentment. The residents of this town are used to drama, but even they will find themselves unprepared for the way relationships fracture and alliances are tested as everything builds to a fever pitch. At the center of it all is Victor Newman, whose presence looms large over every move his children and rivals attempt to make. Victor has lived his life building empires and controlling destinies, but this week he will show that his protective streak and his ruthless instincts have not diminished with age. Whether it is in business, love, or family, his hand will be felt, and his enemies will learn once again why crossing Victor is a mistake that can end careers and shatter futures. For Nick Newman, the week begins with another emotional battle with Sharon, a battle that is layered with years of history, regret, and a glimmer of something that refuses to die. Nick has spent months trying to rebuild trust with Sharon, but every time he gets close, he finds a way to sabotage himself. Now, with the truth about his recent mistakes weighing heavily, Sharon will make it clear that she cannot keep rescuing him from himself. Their almost kiss from the previous week still lingers in the air, and Sharon cannot ignore how her heart reacts when she's around him. But Sharon also knows that giving Nick another chance could cost her everything, especially when questions about Damien's supposed death and Cain's suspicious involvement are spreading like wildfire. The pull between Sharon and Nick is undeniable, but so is the danger of getting pulled into Newman chaos all over again. Meanwhile, Kyle Abbott is reaching his breaking point. He has tried to balance his loyalty to his family with his undeniable attraction to Audra, but the cracks in his resolve are showing. Audra has been pushing him, not only toward a personal relationship but also toward choices that could bring down Jabot from within. This week, Kyle will realize just how much Audra has been holding back. The secret she's keeping could destroy not only their romance but also the fragile truce between the Newmans and Abbotts. When Kyle confronts her, emotions will run high, and for the first time, he may see a side of Audra that terrifies him: ambitious, manipulative, and willing to risk it all to secure her future. Whether Kyle gives in or fights back will shape his path, but either way, he will not walk away unscathed. At the same time, Lily Winters is caught in the middle of a storm she never wanted. The memory of Damien, the whispers that he may not actually be dead, and the shadow of Cain's unpredictable behavior all converge to test her strength. Lily has always tried to take the high road, but this week will test her patience as Cain's actions become more erratic and dangerous. She will have no choice but to confront her ex-husband, demanding answers about what he knows and what he's hiding. Cain's obsession with the truth, mixed with his own personal vendettas, will put Lily in a position where she must decide whether to trust him or expose him. For Lily, this is not only about protecting her own peace of mind but also about shielding her family from another cycle of heartbreak. Over at Chancellor Winters, Devon Hamilton will feel the weight of leadership pressing down harder than ever. With tensions in his family threatening to boil over, Devon will try to keep the company's reputation intact, but he will find himself distracted by rumors about Lily and Kane's ongoing feud. He knows better than anyone that when Kane is involved, nothing is ever simple, and he fears his sister will get dragged into chaos that could have long-lasting repercussions. Devon's protective instincts will clash with his professional duties, forcing him to draw some hard lines with both family and colleagues. The stakes for Chancellor Winters are higher than they have been in years, and Devon cannot afford another scandal. But as the week unfolds, he will see that the personal and professional are more intertwined than ever. Elsewhere, Phyllis Summers is about to make a move that could change everything for her. After months of manipulation, false promises, and backroom deals, Phyllis is ready to gamble on an opportunity that could put her back in the power seat. But her decision will put her directly in Nick's crosshairs, and their long history of attraction and betrayal will resurface in an explosive way. Nick will accuse Phyllis of selling her soul for a chance at relevance, and Phyllis will not deny that she's willing to take risks others wouldn't dare. For Phyllis, survival is everything, and if she has to burn bridges along the way, so be it. Still, there will be a part of her that aches for the acceptance she never fully gets from those she loves most. This week, Phyllis will prove once again that she is her own worst enemy and her own greatest weapon. Victor, watching all these pieces move on the board, will make a chilling declaration by midweek. He will confront Kane directly, issuing a warning that leaves no room for interpretation. Victor knows Kane has been playing games behind the scenes, stirring up questions about Damien's fate, and possibly aligning with dangerous forces. In Victor's world, loyalty is everything, and betrayal is a death sentence. Kane may think he has the upper hand, but Victor will remind him that the Newman family always finds a way to survive and thrive, no matter who tries to challenge them. Kane will leave the encounter shaken but unwilling to back down, and this dangerous standoff will set the tone for battles yet to come. The air in Genoa City is never still, a perpetual whirlwind of secrets, corporate machinations, and romantic entanglements that seems to gather a particular intensity as the seasons begin to turn. The date of September 13, 2025, finds the city's most prominent families and their assorted satellites at a series of critical junctures, each personal crisis interwoven with the next, creating a tapestry of high drama that is both intricate and, for the devoted viewer, utterly compelling. The events of this particular Saturday are not isolated incidents but rather the culmination of weeks, sometimes months, of carefully laid plans and emotional build-up, promising repercussions that will echo far beyond this single day. The lives of the Abbotts, the Newmans, the Chancellors, and the Winters families are, as ever, on a collision course, with legacy, love, and sheer survival hanging in the balance. At the heart of the day's turmoil lies the ever-shifting landscape of corporate power. The battle for control and influence over the city's economic soul, primarily fought between the titans of Jabot Collective and Newman Enterprises, has entered a new and more volatile phase. The Abbott family, still striving to present a unified front to the world, continues to grapple with the internal fissures that threaten to shatter their hard-won peace. Jack Abbott, the patriarch, finds himself in a familiar position of trying to balance his unwavering belief in family with the harsh realities of business and the often flawed judgment of those he loves most. His focus on this day is likely split between the ongoing integration of the collective's new acquisitions and the delicate state of his marriage to Diane Jenkins Abbott. Diane, having fought a long and arduous battle for redemption and acceptance, now faces a different kind of challenge, maintaining her position as Jack's confidant and equal while the ghosts of her past, though mostly laid to rest, still occasionally whisper at the periphery. Their union, a testament to second chances, is a bastion of relative stability, but in Genoa City, stability is a fragile construct, and Jack's unwavering support of his brother Billy often puts him in a difficult position, forcing Diane to navigate the tricky waters of loyalty and pragmatism. Billy Abbott remains the family's most unpredictable element, a man whose intentions are often noble but whose methods are invariably fraught with peril. His latest venture, both professional and personal, has placed him on a direct collision course with not only his own family but also with the formidable forces of the Newman Empire. His obsession with exposing the perceived evils of Newman Enterprises, particularly those embodied by Victor Newman, has evolved into a broader, more personal crusade that now intimately involves Chelsea Lawson. Chelsea, a woman with her own complex history with both the Abbotts and the Newmans, is a partner both in Billy's business endeavors and his life. Their relationship, forged in a shared sense of being outsiders who have struggled for atonement, is tested daily by the magnitude of their ambition and the powerful enemies they are making. On September 13th, the fallout from their most recent maneuver is coming to a head. A leaked piece of information, a strategically planted story, or a hostile takeover bid, whatever action they have set in motion is now triggering its countermove, and they find themselves scrambling to maintain control of a narrative that is threatening to spiral beyond their grasp. The pressure will expose cracks in their partnership, forcing them to question whether their bond is strong enough to withstand the immense pressure being applied from the outside, primarily from Victoria Newman. Victoria Newman, the CEO of Newman Enterprises, is in her element when under siege. She has inherited her father's tactical brilliance and his ruthless determination to protect what is hers. Any threat to her company is a threat to her identity, and she responds not with panic, but with a cold, calculated fury. The actions of Billy and Chelsea are not merely a business problem to be solved, they are a personal affront, a challenge to her authority that she will meet with overwhelming force. Her strategy on this day will be multifaceted, involving legal, corporate, and deeply personal avenues of attack. She will leverage every resource at her disposal, from her boardroom authority to the vast, shadowy network of influence her father commands. Her relationship with Cole Howard, a connection reforged from the embers of their youthful romance and the tragic loss of their daughter, Eve, provides her with a crucial emotional anchor, but it also represents a potential vulnerability. Cole's inherent sense of morality and his own complicated history with the Abbotts means he is not a blind follower of the Newman doctrine. Victoria may find herself having to choose between the unadulterated aggression her father would advocate and a more measured approach that Cole might counsel, a choice that defines the constant battle within her between her heart and the legacy she carries. This corporate war creates a ripple effect that touches every corner of the city. Kyle Abbott, having returned to the Jabot fold after his own tumultuous journey, is once again trying to prove his worth and his loyalty. Positioned between his uncle Jack's steadfast leadership and his father's mercurial rebelliousness, Kyle's allegiances are constantly being probed and tested. His relationship with his ex-wife, Summer Newman, is a permanent tether between the two warring families, a complication that both hinders and informs their actions. Summer, now a powerful figure in her own right within Marchetti, a subsidiary of the Newman Empire, is fiercely protective of her family's interests, particularly those of her mother, Nikki Newman, and her grandfather, Victor. Any attack on Newman Enterprises is an attack on her home. Yet, her enduring connection to Kyle and their shared love for their son, Harrison, creates a dissonance that she must constantly manage. On September 13th, as the battle between Jabot and Newman escalates, Kyle and Summer will be pulled in opposing directions, their professional duties forcing them into conflict despite any personal détente they may have achieved. Their interactions are charged with a history of love, betrayal, and co-parenting, making every boardroom encounter a silent replay of their personal history. Meanwhile, the Newman Ranch continues to be the epicenter of its own unique brand of drama. Victor Newman, the patriarch whose presence looms over Genoa City even when he is not in the room, is likely observing the fray with a watchful eye. His trust in Victoria is absolute, but his instinct to control, to protect his empire and his family, is never fully dormant. He may offer counsel, or he may simply watch, allowing the next generation to prove their mettle while knowing he holds the ultimate trump card should he need to play it. His wife, Nikki Newman, is his steadfast partner, but she is battling her own demons. Her ongoing struggle with alcoholism is a constant shadow, and the intense stress of a corporate war, with its attendant family strife, is a powerful trigger. The events of the day will place a strain on her hard-won sobriety, and Victor's attention will be divided between the battle for his company and the battle for his wife's well-being, a reminder that the most important victories are often not won in the boardroom but in the quiet moments of personal resilience. Away from the skyscrapers and corporate headquarters, other lives are unfolding with equal drama. The Winters family, a cornerstone of Genoa City's community, continues to navigate their path. Nate Hastings, having aligned himself firmly with the Newman dynasty, is fully invested in its success and protection. His position of power within the company is both a point of pride and a point of contention, particularly with his family, who remain wary of the compromises such an alliance demands. His romance with Audra Charles, a woman whose ambition matches his own, is a partnership of like minds, but one that is tested by the constant pressure and the scheming of those around them. Audra, a master manipulator in her own right, plays the game with skill and determination, but her loyalties are often questioned, and on a high-tension day like September 13th, her next move could have significant consequences for herself and for Nate. Elsewhere, the aftermath of recent revelations continues to reverberate. Claire Grace, having been fully integrated into the Newman family after the shocking discovery of her true parentage as Victor and Nikki's believed to be deceased daughter, is still acclimating to her new reality. Her journey from a troubled pawn in Jordan's schemes to a beloved Newman heiress is ongoing. On this day, she may be seeking to solidify her place, perhaps by attempting to help in the family's battle against Billy and Chelsea, only to find that old habits and instincts die hard. Her presence is a constant source of both joy and unease for the Newmans, a living reminder of a painful past and a hopeful future. Similarly, the romance between Daniel Romalotti and Lily Winters faces its own set of challenges. As co-parents and business partners, their lives are deeply entwined, but the baggage of their past relationships and the demands of their present careers at Chancellor Winters create a complex dynamic. The stress of the citywide corporate conflict inevitably impacts their company, forcing them to make difficult decisions that could strain their renewed connection. The specter of Jordan remains, even if her physical threat has been neutralized. The damage she inflicted was profound, unraveling secrets and fracturing trust in ways that are still being repaired. Her actions were the catalyst that set so many of these current storylines in motion, from Claire's integration into the Newman family to the heightened sense of paranoia and protectiveness that now defines the clan. On September 13th, a character may find themselves confronting the last lingering remnant of Jordan's poison, whether it be a forgotten secret she unearthed or a relationship she nearly destroyed that is still on shaky ground. Furthermore, the emotional aftermath of such a traumatic event continues to shape decisions, making characters more reckless or more cautious, but rarely indifferent. In essence, the day of September 13th, 2025, in Genoa City is a symphony of escalating conflicts. It is a day where corporate strategies are executed with precision, where personal loyalties are stretched to their breaking point, and where the past refuses to stay buried. It is a day where Victor Newman's legacy is both a shield and a weapon, wielded by his daughter with formidable skill. It is a day where Billy Abbott's crusade risks everything he holds dear, and where Jack Abbott must once again fight to hold his family together. It is a day of confrontations, both in opulent offices and in the quiet rooms of the ranch, where the real cost of power and ambition is measured in emotional currency. The characters move across this chessboard with a mixture of agency and desperation, making choices that will define their paths for weeks to come. For the audience, it is a masterclass in serialized storytelling, where every glance, every withheld piece of information, and every desperate action is a thread in the rich, endless tapestry of the young and the restless, a world where restlessness is not just a state of being but the very engine of drama itself.